Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Liz and this is Let's Get Lizical, where we do everything card making. Today's a bit of a bonus video because I'm participating in an Instagram and YouTube hop that's being hosted by Geraldine Rose. And she's done like a fantastic job at putting this hop together. There's quite a few people on the list. Some of us are doing giveaways, some of us are not, but this is the Giving Gratitude hop. And we're just, everybody's, celebrating their own little milestones on their channels or on their Instagram pages with subscriber counts or other things. And for me, it's just, I've not really hit a big milestone as of yet. We're almost at 1,200 subscribers, which is fun. My goal was to get to 2,000 this year. We'll see if that happens before the end of the year. But I do want to just hop on here and just say I am very grateful to every single one of you that have subscribed, the ones that watch my videos and comment. I do appreciate that. I love reading your comments. I love answering them. And I know we've had some issues lately with some of my products that came out and whatnot, and we went over that in Friday's video. I will link that at the end of this as well if you want to go on and watch my rant. And just some store updates, things that are coming and whatnot. But anyway, back to this hop. So again, we're doing a Giving Gratitude hop. I'm going to be doing 2 giveaways. They're going to be surprise boxes, so I'm not even going to show you what's in them. And they're both themed. One of them is a Christmas themed box, and then the other one is a summer themed box. And my thank you cards are kind of going to coordinate with them somewhat. And I will leave this open to Canada and the US. I think it's fine, and I will just find someone other than UPS for shipping. And because it's free, you shouldn't be slammed with any duties, but I'll make sure that I get charged for them if you do. And then that the way the package will be delivered without issue, hopefully. So if you're interested in the giveaway, for the 2 different ones, you can comment down below and either add in a watermelon for the summer one, if you prefer the summer one, or a snowflake emoji for the Christmas one. If you prefer both, just put both. And then I'll just, when I pick this person, if the first person I pick, their emoji says summer or whatever, they get the summer one, the second one will get the winter one, vice versa. If they both say both, we'll see what we do then. Maybe I'll just do another random draw between the 2 and just say number 1 gets this, number 2 gets that. We'll do it that way. There's a mixture of different products in them. The Christmas one, there's a Tim Holtz stamp set that I got as part of my Simon's surprise box last year. A lot of it's stuff I just I'm not using or I have extras of. One of my subscribers was kind enough to give me a bunch of products. I think it was the beginning of the year or last year. And there was a lot of Christmas paper on there, and there was 4 sheets of each, so I kind of separated it so it was 2 and 2. And you'll get some of the papers in that for the Christmas one. The summer one has some other prints and stuff that I've ordered papers for. I think there's a die or stamp set in there. I don't remember exactly what's in them. There's a fair size little box with a bunch of different random things. Plus you'll be getting the cards that I make today. So I did one of them off camera just because I wanted to test it out. I was originally trying to use this die from Simon, which also came in that surprise box, but my machine doesn't like it. Not that it wouldn't work on anybody else's machine, but mine just doesn't like to cut all the way through. I've tried adding extra layers, and I've tried just trying to cut it with the X-Acto knife. I don't want to have to do this multiple times. So I came up with my own cut file for it. I made it similar, just with a larger font, a larger heart, and then I made the overall size about 1/4 of an inch bigger. For the purpose of this video, I will likely just link this. But anyway, so I did this one with the winter theme. So this one's going to come in the Christmas pack or winter theme pack. I think it's mostly Christmas stuff. And I wanted to do a winter color palette, so I went on my Pinterest and I looked for a color palette And for the winter one, I kind of knew what colors I wanted to do. So I ended up doing blues and purples and then with a gray background. For the summer one, which we're going to do on camera here, I found a color palette, which I can show you as soon as I bring it up. So this one, it was on my Pinterest. So I picked Limelicious. We're going to skip this like minty seafoam green. Go to the Aegean, Watermelon, and Cherry. So I'm actually going to move to a voiceover just so that this video isn't too long, and I'll speed it up and talk through the card. But yeah, so we're going to do it a little bit differently than I did for this, but I'll explain that when we get there. So voiceover Liz will be right back. So voiceover Liz here. Sorry, it got a little choppy there for a second. I was doing like a full-on live video at this point, and I was just like, I need to cut this off. It's gonna take way too long, and I haven't done that in a hot minute. That's how I used to do my videos at the beginning, but I find that there's sometimes too many distractions at home, or too much talking going on, or the cats are meowing or whatever, and when I craft, I want to listen to my music, and I tend to like belt out the tunes while I do it. So I would rather listen to my music and get in the zone and do my crafty thing and then do the voiceover after. So that's why I have been doing it that way, because I was really missing not being able to listen to my music. So that's kind of like why I've moved over to the voiceovers. Plus sometimes when you're talking live, you like, I was petering in and out, like sometimes I start to mumble things and whatever, so it's just easier, and it takes a lot less time to edit something that you're just speeding through, because then I can just not have to pause and stop and whatever and try to keep everything consistent. I can just talk over what I'm doing, cut out the areas maybe where I walk away from my desk for a second or to grab something or whatever, or if I do something wrong I can cut that out. I don't always. I usually try to like weave that in to show you guys that I make mistakes too, but anyway, that's that. So for the card, I left the panels. I cut 4 panels on my scan and cut mat. You'll see that it's kind of like jerry-rigged here. I found a video on YouTube before. I'll see if I can find it again, but it's just like how to save money on your Brother scan and cut mats, because these mats are fairly expensive. I mean, technically you can even create your own if you can copy the registration marks at the top, but obviously not recommended by the manufacturer. Just tips and tricks to help you guys save money. But I just buy like the Cricut mats, pretty much cut them down to the 12 by 12 space that it needs to be in, stick it to whatever sticky's left on the mat, and then I just add painter's tape on the edges just to hold it down just in case. This one was fairly sticky. Like the first version I did, there's probably a lot of tearing on the back of those panels, but you can't tell because it's all on the back. So when I cut out this one, I just try to like put my microfiber cloth all over the surface, kind of rub it down, peel it up, rub it down, peel it up, just to like take away a bit of that sticky. I think maybe next time I'll buy like a lighter weight tack mat. Like these are the regular ones, but maybe I grab a lighter weight ones and see how those work. And if I was going to do these cards again, I would probably cut the background color in just like a solid colored cardstock. There are some fairly delicate areas on this cut file anyway. It's probably a bit easier on the die because the die kind of like presses the paper together, whereas when you're using a cutting machine, it kind of like almost separates the layers a little bit at the edges when it's like dragging the blade through. So I find that the paper peels a little bit more, which I usually fix by just using a bone folder to press it down flat, but obviously the die has much cleaner edges, and then it doesn't pick up the way that this does. I'm not going to stop using my cutting mat. I don't have a problem with it. Sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't, so it just depends on like the delicate areas, like the U here, and then like the insides of the N's and the K's and the H's were kind of like peeling up a bit. Just use a bit of glue and it goes down, no problem. And then there was one area where I guess when the blade turned, it kind of like pushed the cardstock a bit, so I just use a marker to color in that area. The ink blending looks a little splotchy right now. It does even out more as it dries. These are the positively saturated inks from Simon, which I absolutely love. And again, I used the Aegean for the whole back panel, and then I used the Limelicious Watermelon and Cherry for the other ones. And I'm going to stack these 4 high, so there's 1 with the base and then 3 on top of that. And the 2 in the middle we just left white. The ones on the top will be the colors. The ones on the bottom, again, ink blended with the background. No problem, you're not going to see it. And it kind of like helps a little bit. If I was going to do this card again, like I mentioned, I would probably just do the background in a solid colored cardstock. And you could also cut these all in different colors and then just do 4 versions of the card. So that might be fun. And then you just stack the different colored layers underneath, which would make maybe a fun rainbow instead of all the white. So yeah, so if you're gonna make your own card similar to this using the die, of course, I just made this cut file because my machine has a problem with this die. Otherwise I would have used the die. Also, alternatively to adding so many layers of the cutouts, you could just use the 1/8 inch foam tape from scrapbook.com. I'm pretty sure other people have it too, but I have the scrapbook.com strips, which I bought for doing shakers and stuff, but it would be great for these. It would probably work on the die as well because they're fairly thin. But if you have the die, I would just whip out a couple of those, no problem, and stack the cardstock layers because it is a thinner font on the actual die. I did mine in a thicker font. When I tend to do these kind of like blocky graphics, I use the font Impact in Illustrator, and that's pretty much my standard go-to for a good blocky font. So that's the one I used in case you want to make your own. I'm pretty sure it's one of those like standard fonts that come with your computer anyway. But anyway, let's get back to the hop. So I'm very excited to be part of this hop. Again, there's about 28 people in this hop. Some of us are doing both Instagram and YouTube. Some are doing just Instagram. Some are just doing YouTube, I believe. I think most of us that do YouTube do both. But yeah, so there's quite a bit of people on the list. There are people doing giveaways, so be sure to check the playlist in the description box below and watch all of the videos. Comment, like, subscribe, whatnot. I know that there's at least one person who's taking comments from everybody's videos to add for their giveaway. I'm just going to do them for mine, so you just need to subscribe, comment, and then add the emoji for the theme box that you want. Again, it's either a watermelon for the summer one or a snowflake for the winter one. And I will end the giveaway on October 8th at 11:59 p.m. That way I can do the voiceover and edit video for Friday and announce the winners on the 10th. So yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. And also be sure to check out the playlist in the description down below to watch the other videos in the hop. Please run over to my Instagram as well. I will give you an additional entry if you also comment on my Instagram post. So yeah. Thanks again for joining me for today, guys. I'll have another video on at noon for the Get Creeping on Halloween challenge. And I'll be back again tomorrow for a planner page, which is going to be fun because we're going to make it sparkly. And again on Friday for our regular scheduled video. So until next time, thanks guys. Bye.